Anybody know who that is? Yes. So this brother here, he was a yogi. He was a yoga master from India. He introduced yoga to America. He was at Howard University in 1925. For black people who were studying yoga at a historically black college university back in 1925. My mother was born in 1924. But I have one of my teachers of yoga. She's 95 years old and she studied with me. This is from Martin Luther King's speech. I have a dream. This is probably a part that you never hear about. Most of the time you hear about the part about, we should all live together and all that stuff. But right here he says, let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. Soul force. Okay, so when he talked about soul force, and some people, you could interpret this to say, well, he's telling you to turn the other cheek. He's telling you to not fight for your rights and not really stand up for yourself. But he's really trying to tell you that there is many ways to get to your objective. The right brain way is to use force, violence. The left brain way is to use the left brain concept is to use force and violence. The right brain way is to use the breath, to use spirit, to use the unseen forces which are around us, that is within us, and we can cultivate it. And so when I see this picture of Yogananda talking to these black people back in 1925, and I see Martin Luther King in 1960, 63, whatever, making a speech about using soul force, using the force of your mind, the force of your consciousness, the force of your spirit to overcome your enemies. To outwit, out-spiritize these people as opposed to trying to just go toe-to-toe with somebody. You got a pistol and he got a tank. I see that there must be some connection. Okay? Now everybody know what this is. This is the pyramids of ancient Kemetic. I showed this picture to show just the majesty and the power that our ancestors had. The Great Pyramid is made up of, I think, 4 million blocks of stone. The average one weighs about 2.5 tons apiece. It's many acres that each one of those pyramids take up. The tallest pyramid was over almost 50 stories tall. It was the tallest building in the world up until they built the Eiffel Tower, which was in the 1800s. So our ancestors, they had tremendous knowledge that was way beyond the knowledge that anybody can duplicate now. Here you see Eru Ankhet, who they call the Sphinx. And this statue was probably here for a long, long time before the pyramids was even built. So this statue, it has coin on it. Long before this area became a desert. And this area where it's at the Yirser Plateau was once a tropical, lush tropical place about, maybe 9 to 20,000 years ago. So this sphinx shows that it used to rain on this sphinx, or this Heru Amket. So that means that it must have been there for a much longer time. Can the lights go down some?
No, it's not any better.
Now right here, now in July, me and my brother Wayne Chandler, we're going to be taking a group of people on a tour of Kemetic. Hopefully our sister, Miss Banks, will be there with us too. And another sister, Sienna, Amin. But in the Cairo Museum, where they have all the different artifacts that was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun, there's this chair. This is the back of a chair, the part that you sit your back up against. And on that chair, we found this image in Chicago in the 1970s. And from studying the glyphs, the images, and then practicing the position, we figured out that this was yoga. So this chair, in terms of modeling awareness, not that anybody here is the father of yoga or Kemetic yoga, just sort of people who have rediscovered what the ancestors did. This is like the Rosetta Stone. This is the piece that really opened up the door. Because what you see is an image of an individual who represents what we call nature, or nature group. The word nature means creator, that force, that energy, that entity that created the entire universe. Nature group is an expression of that divine force. And so here we see this nature group with this curved beard. The curved beard representing that he is a deity or an expression of divinity. And looking at the symbols that we see here was where we was able to figure out that this is yoga. Because number one, he's in this pose, which is very geometrically correct pose, and one which is showing the definition and the balance and coordination of the body. But also, the various symbols here are connected back to yoga. So on the top of his head, right, he has a round circle, and there's a serpent, a cobra on each side. This circle is called a sun disk. The sun disk corresponds to this crown of the head, which is where in yoga we have this concept of 7 primary chakras in the body, 7 primary energy channels or energy centers in the body, of which the master's center is at the crown of the head. And so we see the ancestors having placed this at the crown of the head, and we also see that he's seated on a little platform. And this platform is the hieroglyphic word for noob. And noob is where we get the word Nubia from, and noob means gold. And so he is sitting on a foundation of gold. Now this workshop that you attended this weekend is called Alchemy of Inner Empowerment. In the science of alchemy, Your goal is to transform a base metal or a base consciousness